Regarding MSP 430 overview, I would like to highlight first of all onto a very popular development board containing TI MSP 430 chip. We call it as Launchpad, and it is very popular among engineering students for developing their mini projects and quick prototyping of their ideas. The MSP 430 includes a von Neumann style architecture. Its key features are ultra low power architecture, around RAM retention of zero point 0.1 microamperes, and real-time clock mode of zero point 0.8 microamperes, 250 microamperes per MIPS active. That MIPS means a million instructions per second. It also offers high performance analog to digital conversion. There are two ADC modes present over there, 12-bit and 10-bit ADC mode. And in 12-bit, there is also a dual DAC facility present. And 16-bit RISC processor feature is the very prime component that we come across as far as MSP 430 is concerned. It offers us large register file, compact code design. That is how we can achieve better code density. Near about 27 core instructions and 7 addressing modes are present in MSP 430. This is a block diagram, generalized block diagram of MSP 430. As we can see here, it includes a RISC architecture, CPU 16-bit, and the overall architecture is inherited from von Neumann style. So there is a clock system, and memories are present there. For containing the hexadecimal file, we are having ROM or flash memory, and for containing a random data, or temporary real-time data, we are having random access memory, RAM memory. And there are two buses, MAB 16-bit bus and MDB 16-bit bus, that is address bus and data bus respectively. There are some peripherals, GPIO, UART, ADC, DSC, timer, counter, as every microcontroller is supposed to have. And some sophisticated peripherals like watchdog timers are also present there. Those are independent internal timers present in microcontroller core that help us to achieve exception handling in a better manner. Some buses are also there, as we have already seen address bus 16-bit and data bus of 16-bit. There is a different 8-bit bus between peripherals that is used to uh, transfer data in between one peripheral and another. And there is also a JTAG interface present in this MSP 430 core. JTAG stands for Joint Task Action Group. So it is mostly used for debugging, tracing, and profiling utility. As far as memory structure of MSP 430 is there, I am presenting you the logical aspect of it. So there is a 16-bit addressable memory space. That means total of 2 raised to 16. So around 64 kilobytes are present addressable range, and it is been divided into various sub ranges over there. That is from 0h to 0fh we are having special function registers. Then 010h to 0ffh we are having 8-bit peripheral module. Then next to that is 16-bit peripheral module. Next to that is RAM module, and there is some reserved memory area. Above that we are having flash or ROM memory access, and on the topmost section of it we are having IVT, that is interrupt vector table. So the amount that is allocated to this ROM and flash memory is varying by every device. Also the same is applicable for RAM memory. Last 16 words of flash or ROM used for interrupt vector table, commonly used interrupts like reset, timer interrupts, serial interrupts, as we will be going through in further course of time. This input output is memory mapped as specific characteristic of MSP 430. As far as memory data organization is concerned, bytes can be at even or odd addresses. So we can see uh, when we call it as words, right? So words are only at even addresses. So word high byte, word low byte. So the low byte of a word is at even address and high byte of a word is at odd address. So a common characteristics of MSP 430 family that we must take into account. As far as microcontroller's internal structure is concerned, as we all know, CPU is a very important aspect of it, and then further it comes with IOs and peripherals. So we first of all need to go through CPU concept. CPU incorporates different features which support modern programming techniques, and the features mostly include calculated branching, uh, table processing, 27 RISC instructions as seen earlier. There are total 7 addressing modes of it, and all instruction use all of the addressing modes. We are also getting a facility of full register access, a single cycle register operations. Uh, that is a prime characteristic of RISC family. That advantage we're getting here. It also offers us direct memory to memory transfer and constant generator, that is again providing most used values. So this CPU with all these features provides us a better execution of our program in the deterministic and deadline oriented manner. So we can call in other regards that MSP 430 is uh, most suitable for performing sophisticated and real-time operations. As far as the data path of MSP 430 is concerned, there are total 16 registers and contents are 16 bits, and user has access to all these registers, out of which 4 registers are special purpose. We can go through this same structure by zooming the design. As we can find here, there is a 16-bit arithmetic and logical unit at the bottom side. It is having two inputs and one output. So one input is destination and another input is source, and there are various general purpose registers. We can see R0 to R15, out of which R4 to R15 are specifically general purpose, but R0 to R3 are having unique applications. R0 is also used as a program counter, R1 is used as a stack pointer, R2 is used as a status register, and R3 is used as a constant generator. And all these registers are communicating over this MDB bus and MAB bus, that is memory data bus and memory address bus. Needless to say, these buses are of 16-bit width. And one more thing, when we go through this data path, we come across the ALU concept, and again we need to understand the status flags. So whatever is the result of this ALU operation, accordingly the status flag bits are affected. Z, that is for zero indication. If the result comes zero, then Z flag is affected. C is for carry, V is for overflow, and N is for negative. So according to the operation that is being conducted in arithmetic and logical unit, these status flags are going to be affected and reflected in that status register accordingly. So this is what is MSP 430 data path, and this more information regarding this can be found into datasheet or users manual of this MSP 430. So as we have already seen, R4 to R15, these are general purpose registers. These registers are indistinguishable and can be used as data register, address register, or index value. They can also be accessed with byte or word instructions. And uh, one popular concept regarding this data path is again it offers us better implementation of our algorithms in sequential or a programmatic manner. It also becomes easier for us when we work on assembly. If we understood this architecture very well, we can perform some extremely low level operations in assembly, and our architecture is almost suitable for uh, working ahead in that direction. Uh, Actually, there are many tools, software tools used for MSP 430 programming. Few examples are Code Composer Studio, then embedded IAR Workbench, and this Energy ID, which is presented over here. But I would recommend for beginners this Energy ID because it is mostly inherited from the Arduino concept. You can also find a similarity uh, uh, in the interface. So there is a Blink program, and coding is much more like Arduino's. We can see here hash defined LED, red LED. There are two loops here: void setup and void loop. Two functions: void setup and void loop. In void setup, we are declaring and initializing the pins, and in void loop, we are executing the code. So this is LED toggling code that is having much more than like Arduino Sketch like structure, and interface is also quite same. But this Energia ID is specifically developed for TI's MS430 program. So, anyways, in due course of time, much more information about other tools will be covered. So, till then, we can just focus on Energia ID. You can go to the homepage of it and download a free version of it, and then try for some simple programs of LED toggling, some push button interfacing, LCD interfacing, keypad interfacing, like that. So, with that, I will conclude this course, and we will see in next lecture.